Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Campus Care Ed Talks. I, Mehak Dhiman, your host for the day, would like to welcome you all. Ed Talks is a platform where educators and leaders come on board and express their viewpoints related to education and society. Our topic for the day is developing and adding creativity to teaching, and to express her viewpoints on the same, we have with us Miss Vibha Khosla, ma'am, Principal of Sri Ram Global School, Delhi. A very warm welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for taking out your time. It's an honor to have you here on board with us.
I reciprocate the same, Mehek. It's an honor to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So, ma'am, we're here talking about developing and adding creativity to teaching. So, let's just talk about the creativity part. Do you think is it an important part of every activity, every task I'm doing? Is it important for me to be creative while doing that?
Absolutely. It's a lovely question, very close to my heart. See, what is creativity? Creativity is doing something new, something different,
Yes.
something which is out of the box, something which we can do with an open mind, right? And, whenever we are creative, we are broadening our horizon for work. So, why is creativity important specifically when we say in education?
Yes.
First, when we are creative, we are able to think about new things and we are able to express our feelings better. We are able to solve the problems better. So the problems are not problems, they seem like challenges to us,
Yeah.
right? And then when we are able to do these things, so you would see when a person can express, can solve, does not find the problems to be problems but challenges, then the person would be happier and would be more contented. And a person who is like this would definitely be more resilient. And this in turn is going to boost the confidence.
Yeah.
So this way, if we inculcate creativity in teaching, then children will start finding it very interesting and fulfilling. So there is going to be originality, there is going to be happiness, there is going to be resilience, there is going to be confidence, and children will be facing the challenges also well. So then you see that one little thing like creativity gives so much.
Yeah.
So I think it's very, very important and rather quintessential. Creativity should be there in education, for sure.
Absolutely, ma'am. Very well explained. Moving forward, ma'am, how important is creativity in teaching, in your opinion, ma'am? How important is it for an educator to not just come into the classroom and revise the whole chapter and do the give the homework to the students? And how is it? How important is it to be creative while you are teaching your children, ma'am?
Okay. So, see, when we are talking about creativity, so what does creativity lead to? Creativity leads to higher order thinking. It leads to critical thinking. It leads to your problem solving. It's going to motivate the students. And there's going to be something which lights up here. I have an idea. I have an expression. This your literacy skills become better. When you're doing problem solving, your numeracy skills become better. And when you are going on that path where you're doing things well, you automatically start feeling emotionally, also, you start feeling, strong. Then again, what I said that if you are emotionally strong, your resilience would be there, your concept clarity would be there, and with creativity, there could be differential learning. So these all come as a package. And that's the reason we say that it's very, very important that while we are teaching, instead of saying open page number this and do this in the notebook and get your homework, children would always keep fretting. Ma'am ne homework diya hai. It's a long one. How do I complete it? But if there is something wherein the children have to go ahead and investigate,
Yeah.
they have to come up with new ideas. How can I do this? How can I make this? And there are challenges. So this is what children are looking forward to. Why are children going towards gamification? Why are we going towards technology? You know, because their creativity, the thirst for their creativity is getting quenched. So it's very important that in the class, as a teacher, if we don't want to become dinosaurs, then we need to get lots and lots of creativity in the class.
Absolutely, ma'am. Very well explained, ma'am. You just mentioned, I think we all can agree to it that students just don't want to go home and do the regular homework. They do want to investigate. They do want to do something different than just homework. So, how do you think, in your opinion, ma'am, does creativity, uh, improve the learning process? Because back when we remember our school days, we only remember the teachers who used to be different in teaching. They never came into the classroom and asked us to open our textbook and just write down this question and everything. We always remember the teachers who were so different from the others. So, uh, how do you think it improves the learning process for children, ma'am?
How can creativity improve the learning process?
Yes, ma'am.
That I already just told you, that how creativity can improve the learning process. But how, as a teacher, it's very important that if we want creativity to be in the classrooms, then the teachers have to be trained.
Yeah.
They have to be trained so that they can go ahead and take classes
Yes,
where
ma'am.
they could be the ones who initiate this creativity in the class. So for them, it's important that they first enhance their knowledge. They need to connect with others. There has to be a resource which is there for different teaching ideas, right? So when we start to gather all these things, when we start to share our learning, when we start to explore new things, when we, remove the blocks. So there is a block, I can't. So that has to be removed. So I can and I will, you know I will practice. I'm going to try this thing, and I'm sure this is going to work in the class. We have to experiment, we have to reflect, we have to have that, um, you know making that good factor there in the classroom. Once we start doing this, we'll see that the students are getting involved, and students involvement, and they coming up with new ideas, and then we are going, and climbing the ladder of success.
Absolutely, ma'am. I think that is really important when it comes to creativity and teaching. Lastly, ma'am, what would you suggest the educators? What are some of the tips you'd like to give? For example, instead of reading the boring social studies chapter, we can just go on a field trip to explore more about history and everything. What are some of the tips you'd like to give to educators to become more creative while teaching?
Okay. So, see, if we are saying that tips for educators, so that's what I was telling you, that they need to be more involved. They have to be intrinsically driven. They have to be motivated, right? They have to ensure that students are involved in the classes, and they have to see that they need to experiment with different pedagogies. So, as a teacher, my journey doesn't stop, my learning doesn't stop. Every day need to be learning something or the other. That's very, very important, because till the time I am not able to make my learning, which is impressionable, which is something which is giving a long time effect, which is giving a sense of purpose, which is giving a sense of accomplishment, till that time my teaching is baseless. So it's very, very important that as facilitators, as educators, we also have the passion for learning, we have passion for innovation, we have a purpose, and we start to experiment. Once we start doing these things in the classes, we will see that children come on this path, and we also start enjoying, because you know creativity reduces stress.
Yeah.
So reduces stress not only for the students but for the educators. It gives harmony, it gives happiness. So we're going to be creating a happy community.
Yeah. Absolutely, ma'am. I think there were some fantastic tips to be creative, and how can I think it comes it cannot be told how to be creative. It can already you can only uh, as you just mentioned original. It has to be original.
No, it has to be original, but if you have to be creative, you need to have the complete knowledge. So if I am particularly a science teacher and I know my science concepts very well, So how can I teach science? How can I have integration in that? How can I have experience in that? How can I have reflection on that? How can I make children to experiment with that? And how can I do something which is going to be very different, and my children will create something? So, when we talk about creativity, Bloom's taxonomy talks about it all, that you are going from knowledge to creation. So we need to go ahead and follow that path, and we need to see that what competencies we are touching. It's not only a question only for a question, but what competency are we touching?
Yeah.
Right? And for that, if it is creative way in which we are going ahead and delivering the lessons, then they would be long lasting. Children would be motivated, children would be intrinsically driven, they would love to come to the school. So creativity, when we say, it's a holistic package,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
it can make all the difference.
Absolutely, ma'am. Thank you so much, Vibha ma'am, for being here today. It was lovely, listening to your viewpoints and experiences.
Thank you so much, Megha, and my gratitude to the team in TAB for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And for all the
Thank
viewers watching us out, do not forget to subscribe to our channel for more stuff like this. Thank you, ma'am. Have a great day.
Thank you, Vijay. God bless you.